students, you are welcome back to more examples on how to sketch absolute value functions. Now, for the first one, I want to sketch y is equal to x plus absolute value of x. Let's define the function. Y is equal to x plus absolute value of x. How do we define this? Okay, now we can have x plus absolute value of x will be 1. If our x is positive, that means they're going to have what? X plus x, 2x. If x is greater than or equals to 0, that is if x is positive. Okay, I hope you are getting that. But specifically, don't let us put equals to 0 here, because by the time we put equals to 0, it means that it's less likelihood of having a 0 here. X plus 0 will be x. Okay, now if x is negative, that is if x is negative, so what will happen? If this value is negative, that will be 0. Do you understand that? What I've just done now is that x doesn't have absolute value, so that's retain that. But this one that has an absolute value, it is defined two ways. It's going to be positive if x is positive. So if we have x here, x plus x is 2x. So if x is positive, but if it is negative, if this value is minus x, then x minus x, that will be 0. Now, how do we now sketch this graph? To sketch this, we have this. The first one says x is greater than 0, that's positive value. Okay, and that will be y is equals to 2x here. These are 2x. All right. So the second one, the value will be 0. So, and for x to be, less than 0, this right, and y is 0. So y is this 0 axis. This 0, the point of the origin of the graph. So our 0 is there. This is our y will be, because it's 0. The other one is 2x. So we have shown that the 0 will be on 0 axis. Okay, so that is that about that. Don't let us waste our time. Now the range of the function, the range of this value, the range of x plus absolute value of x is equal to set of y such that y is greater than or equals to 0. You can see our y will be greater than or equals to 0. So that's the range. The value of y is more than 0. It will be 0 here. It will be greater than 0 here. So that is that about that. Now let's look at the second question. Let's clean everything here so we have enough time, enough space. Now the second question says that y is equal to absolute value of x minus 1 plus absolute value of x plus 1. Now let's define this. You can take it one by one. We can just let's start with this x minus 1. That will be, we define this as this will be x minus 1 if s is greater than or equals to what? 0. We know that it is if x is positive, fine, it is going to be that. And but by and large, if we put 0 here, if we put 0 here, it implies that it will be okay. We can define like that. Don't let us get it twisted. So we can later say that if x minus 1 is equal to 0, let's check it. X minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0, so we can change to x greater than 1. I think that is correct. That's greater than or equals to 1. So that will be better instead of writing 0. Did you understand what I did there? Now x minus 1 absolute value, we can define it as the absolute value of x minus 1 will be x minus 1 if, actually it should be what? If x minus 1, what we should have written here is if x minus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. That is this. That's the basic. But now to solve further, x minus 1 greater than or equals to 0, x greater than or equals to 1. That is it. Is that clear now? The second one, it will be minus x minus 1 if, just like I did here, x minus 1 less than 0. So that 0 is the standard, So by the time you now evaluate, you will be what? X less than 1. So x less than 1 will not be written here. So don't let us get self confused. So now, the second one, for the second pair, absolute value of x plus 1. How do we define that? Fine. Absolute value of x plus 1 will be x plus 1 if, like I said, x plus 1 is greater than or equals to 0. So to be what? X greater than or equals to minus 1. So x greater than or equals to minus 1. Okay? Now the second one, it will be minus into x plus 1 if just x plus 1 is less than 0. So you understand now? Those are the basics. X, less than minus 1. I hope you understand. So now we have defined those given values. Now the next stage is now to add them together. But before adding them together, what are their what? What are our ranges? The range or the critical values of x. Now the critical values of x, because they are much. The critical values of x are, start from x less than minus 1. You can have that. Is there. Now you can join this and this together. Yes. This and this can be linked together. Let's see. Since x is greater than or equals to minus 1, it can be minus 1 less than or equals to x. Fine. And x is less than 1. Inequality less than 1. So we can have minus 1 less than or equals to x less than 1. We have combined this and this together. We pick this one, we combine this and this together, then we can separately write this. So then x greater than or equals to 1. So those are the critical values of x in that particular situation. Now let's treat them one by one. When x is less than minus 1. 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 Let's look at y. Y is absolute value of x minus 1 plus absolute value of x plus 1. So what value did we get for? Okay, we have cleaned that. Okay, let's use this example here. What value did we get for when x is less than minus 1? In our previous, the one we have just cleaned, we have 1 minus, maybe I should rewrite that. It is this. Let's quickly write that. Absolute value of x minus 1 give us what? Give us x minus 1 if x is greater than or equals to minus 1, I think. Is that what is there? Greater than 1, sorry. Then it's minus into x minus 1 if x is less than 1. So now we are picking this critical value. We have three critical values. X less than minus 1, minus 1 less than or equals to x less than 1, x greater than or equals to 1. Now picking the first one, critical values, where in this case, where do we have x less than, my x are these negative values of x. Let's use that. Let's say simply put, we have negative value of x when we have this. So for x minus 1, we have minus x plus 1. That's 1 minus x. Then plus, for the value of absolute value of x plus 1, where do we have the negative value? We have this. So what? You can say, this one can be said to be what? Plus minus x minus 1. So this one will change to, because plus and minus x minus 1. Minus x minus 1. So minus x minus 1. So by the time we do that, we have what? This one will cancel this. We have what? Y is equal to minus 2x. I think that is understood. Now let's look at the second one. With the second one, I think the explanation will be clearer. Let's clean it. So we use the board is so short that we just have to manage with what the board has there. Now the second one we have picked. So when x is when we have minus 1 less than or equals to x less than 1. That's the second critical value of x. So the absolute value y is equals to x, absolute value of x minus 1 plus absolute value of x plus 1. Where do we have those values? Let's rewrite this one as well. Price some so that we'll be able to make use of it. Sorry, x plus 1 if s is greater than or equals to minus 1 minus x plus 1 if x is less than minus 1. Now, where do we have, we can move from, we can switch from whichever way. Where do we have x less than 1 and x greater, for x minus 1, we have, this is where we have x less than 1. What do we have, what value do we have there? We have this one will be what? Minus x plus 1, that's 1 minus x. So we are using this now. So x less than 1, you write that. Okay, for the first one, for the absolute value of x minus 1. Now plus absolute value of x plus 1, x plus 1. What do we have here? This one, if you change this one to x greater than or equals to minus 1, is for this. So what do we have there? X plus 1. It's as simple as that. So this will cancel this out. We have 2. It's as simple as that. It's not difficult at all. Now, for the last when we have what? For the last critical value, I think that is x greater than or equals to 1. Yes, x greater than or equals to 1. So our y is equals to absolute value of s minus 1 plus absolute value of s plus 1. What does it give us? Now, go to where we have s greater than or equals to 1 in s minus 1. We have s minus 1 as well. Plus, go to where we have s plus 1. Considering on s greater than or equals to 1, what do we have there? You're using positive values. We pick this. You pick this because this is positive, this is negative. You can't pick. Although you are not particular about whether it is minus 1 or plus 1, but since the value is positive there, our x value is positive, we pick the positive one. That's what we are using. So now this will cancel this out. So we have what? 2x. That will be 2x. That will cancel that one out. That will be 2x. Okay. Now the range. Let's write the range out, which is the value of our x. Which is the value of our y. Sorry. The range, which is the value of our y. So the range can now be written as the range of the function absolute value of x minus 1 plus x plus 1 is y. It's a set y. It's a set of y values. Y such that y greater than or equals to what? 2. 2. Y greater than or equals to 2. Let's sketch the graph. Let's sketch the graph. The graph can be sketched this way. You have to be careful so that you don't run into trouble. Now, what are the values of x within the graph? Now, you see, if you look at the values of the graph given to you, see that our x has 2 values, 2 main values. It has a negative 1, it has a positive 1. So we can sketch like this. Minus 1 will be here, 1 will be here. Okay, first of all. Now, and again, the value of our y, if you go back to the previous ones I've cleaned, y was 2 somewhere. Yes, y was 2. Y was 2 for the second critical value where we have minus 1 less than equals to x less than 1. So you indicate, let's say this is 2. Y was 2 there. I hope you are getting that. Fine. So now you level up this, sketch this. So because this graph is moving from here, so it goes this way. This y equals to 2x. Y equals to 2x when your y is 1 there. The other one is remember, is on minus 1. This one, y equals to, y is equal to, what do you have there? Minus 2x. Is that what we have for the second one? Y equals to 2x, y equals to, yes, minus 2x. I think that's correct. Because that one is negative, this one is positive. So I think that is that about that. Don't be confused. What I just did was I've sketched the values of my y. Y is 2. This y axis is positive. and my x is ranging for is between 1 and -1 and 1. You first write that, then you extrapolate up for the positive one, which is y equals to 2x. The negative one is y equals to -2x, which is taking the negative value. And so you have come to the end of the sketching of the given problem. So please don't forget to click the notification button so that each time I upload a video, you'll be daily notified. Stay blessed.